As an entrepreneur, when you're starting up with your business, you'll be making a business plan, right? Not only that, even if you're a successful entrepreneur and when you want to start a new vertical or when you're venturing into something totally new, you need to get into a very, very good and solid business plan making. Comprising all of that into one single page document is called as business model canvas. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to prepare your business model canvas. Hi, this is James Vineeth, author, TEDx speaker, and a business coach, also listed as one among the top 10 promising business coaches in India. Let's dive in. These are the 10 key elements that you need to start jotting down or working on before you start up or venture into something totally new. Here are the 10 elements. The first one is key partners. I understand everybody tries to make a very solid and super good detailed business plan, but nowadays, there are people approaching others for funding or investors pitch, multiple things going on. So nobody really has a lot of time to go through multiple pages to vet a business plan. So this business model canvas basically comprises all of that and puts it into a simple one-page document. So the first thing that your investors or even when you're starting up your business, can you really put in your hard-earned money or can you really invest into this business? You need to evaluate that with these 10 points. Number one is key partners. Who are your key partners for the business? When I mean key partners, I do not talk about people who are partnering with you. I'm talking about your reliable vendors, suppliers. Basically, ideally, who are your suppliers? Where are you buying from? And what do they perform for your business? Things to consider are quality, cost, and reliability. For example, you may want to start a restaurant. Then you're basically depending on somebody to give you groceries every single week. And you're basically relying on a very good supplier who will be giving you meat consistently. Or maybe you're a company who's making flasks. So you basically have to depend on somebody to supply metals for your business consistently. Why this is very essential? Because after 2-3 years, suppose your business is really picking up and you want to have multiple branches, you want to increase your production capacity, then can you really depend on these people again? Because that also plays a vital role in the survival of your business. The second one is key activities. What are the key activities that your business is doing? Day in and day out, you need to be able to create this magic again and again for your customers. See, in every tool in bottom, you would find something called GFI tools. GFI, in simple, it stands for Growth Foundation International. We've actually created something called Growth Foundation International, which is for all the entrepreneurs. It's an entrepreneurial forum where every week we kind of equip them with wonderful tools. So I've actually mentioned for our members to refer to some of the tools that we have given to them to work on each and every single element that we're talking about here in this video. So again, your key activities. Can your people do this thing day in and day out? Do you have the capacity to provide consistency in all these areas? For instance, can you give the same taste again and again? Can you give the same customer buying experience again and again in your store or shop? Then your key resources. From where are you buying your products? Are you importing these products? Are you making it on your own? Because that also will have a very good effect on the pricing as well, right? What is the budget that you are allotting for the key resources? And this also drastically determines your product margin. You're making something and you're selling it for, let's say, 1,000 rupees. You're making a flask or you're making certain products and selling it for 1,000 rupees. The manufacturing cost itself could be 30%, 40%, 80%, 70%, varies. So key resources plays a vital role. Some of you could be running services business. Your key resources are employees, basically manpower. And what is the CTC that you have? What's the control? What's the budget control you have in place for that? Value proposition. This is the ideal, most important thing when you start your business, because any investor for that matter, he'll be looking at, there are already 50, 100 or even 1,000 people doing the same business that you wanted to start. Why on earth would people come to your business to buy your product or service? What difference are you making in the market? the value you're delivering to the customer, the problems that you're able to solve, the pain points of the customer you're actually addressing, and the segment that you're actually targeting as well. Do you have customer level goals? All that comes into value proposition. Like normal example could be Uber and Ola. Why people used to, they were relying on that because it was solving some kind of a pain point for the customer, right? Customer need not wait, they need not bargain, timely pickup, scheduling, all of that. Even I recently observed this in one of our grocery stores, okay, one of my clients' grocery store. They actually have 2 monitors in the billing area. Because you look at the customer's pain point. When I'm standing in that queue, sometimes I buy a product of 50 gram, but by mistake, people only do it by mistake. By mistake, they bill the 100 gram product and all this confusion happens. Then only when the customer is going home, he or she checks that there are some errors in the billing. So what this particular company did is only one computer, but the monitors are 2. So the biller is facing this monitor, and same way another monitor is placed for the customer who's standing in the queue can actually monitor, and he can say this is expensive, cut it off, add this, there's a free, you did not add. All of that live conversation can also happen. See, even this minute things can be a good value proposition, because what could be so small for you could be something so very, very vital and crucial for customers in terms of why they want to come back to your business again, why repeat sales is occurring. And customer relationships, how your business would like to maintain customer relationship. Here CX and UX plays a vital role. What is CX? CX is customer experience, UX is user experience. You could be selling a toy, right? So the customer who's buying the product could be a parent, but ultimately the kid who's using the product is the ultimate end user. Okay, you're a toy manufacturer, or you're probably having multiple stores. So how have you designed your process? Why would a customer would love to visit your store or visit your business again and again? Why would an end user recommend your product whenever there's a discussion in their home about which one to buy next? Stats. What are your stats? Stat is turnaround time. Suppose you're running a business related to M-Sand, P-Sand. Okay, do you have a proper turnaround time in place? When a lorry enters into your business premises, within 10 minutes, within 15 minutes, the loading should happen and billing should be completed, weighing, checking should be completed, and the lorry should actually go out with full load. So do you even have these kind of things? Because these are the essential things that would be very vital in terms of long-term sustainability of any business. Then comes in your channels. What are your channels, your branding channels, how do you reach customers, and with whom are you partnering to build on AIDA? AIDA is a marketing concept. It's called AIDA. How would you increase the awareness for your product or business? A stands for awareness. I stands for interest. D for desire. Again, finally, A for action. Many people in the market, probably everyone in your target segment, should know that you exist. You're selling something and that could be useful to them. So how would you be able to create that awareness? Who are your channel partners, influencers? What medium are you going to use for branding and marketing? And next, after awareness, you need to create interest. People need to be having that interest to buy a product sometime, and then finally the desire should be there. Then at the last, only they pay the money, they take action, they become your loyal customers. Then most importantly, here comes customer segments. See, I always love talking about this idli economics. There are somebody who is selling idli or even pani puri, selling for 10 rupees per plate, somebody selling for 50 rupees per plate, somebody even selling for 100 or 150 rupees per plate. There's nothing to look at another person and say, oh, they're selling for too much, too high, all that. No. It's all sold for different target audience. Same cotton, same yarn, okay, it becomes a fabric in multiple businesses. And the fabric, and the end of the day, they make a shirt. And the shirt is also being sold for 100 rupees to a market segment. Somebody is selling for 1,000, somebody even selling for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Nothing wrong. As a business, when you plan to sell something, you need to very clearly know who are your target audience, what are their demographics, age group, what are their interests, what are their social behaviors. Depending on that, only when that is very clear, because sometimes when people are starting a business, even it could be a biryani restaurant, okay, and when an investor is asking you, who should be your ideal target audience. If you say anybody, because all human beings eat biryani, so I can basically sell to anybody, boom, you lost it there. Because if you're trying to sell something to anybody, you might end up selling to nobody. Okay. So start working on this, my dear friends. And in fact, in GFI, we actually created a tool called Sales Funnel for every single business. You can even have product layers. How would you sell? I'll be talking about that in few minutes in this video itself. And then very importantly, your cost structure. Top down, your cost breakup, cost versus value. Is it really necessary for you to import new machineries from abroad to start this business? Is it necessary for you to implement automated chain system for fast manufacturing? So how are you keeping cost under control? Where is most of the investment going? Right? So that matters. Is it really essential? You need to really justify that. What is the ROI on any machines or things that you're investing for your business? An ultimate thing is vision. 5 years, 10 years, 25 years down the line. Now you're starting a new venture, new vertical, venturing into something totally new. But after 10 years, what is that you wanted to see? Number of customers, number of branches, number of employees. Where do you want to go? Because ideally an investor or even as an entrepreneur, when you're putting in your hard-earned money, you need to see after 10 years what would happen to this money, what would happen to this business. And here is a wonderful thing. It's called revenue streams. Money versus value. That relationship for customers is always very, very important. Sometimes customers are ready to spend more if you are adding very good value to them. You need to work on your sales funnel. I remember I told you about sales funnel. What is it? You need to be able to position multiple products. See, when you want to increase your business turnover, get in new customers, you need to also be able to sell more and sell often to your existing customers also, because even they have the same requirement. I'm not saying have a attitude of somehow selling and keeping on cross-selling and upselling to the same customer again and again. The customer would have multiple requirements related to your product or service, but why are you missing out on them? There's something called LTV, lifetime value of a customer. If a customer in a lifetime of a 20-25 years of repeat visits to your business can give you X amount of business, why are you missing out on that? Maybe you're having a small grocery store, somebody coming in to buy a toothpaste, fine, it's the entry level, done, it's cool. You need to be able to see how you can create a wow effect over there. Then ideally that customer could be your regular paying customer by coming and buying groceries month on month with your store. That's sales funnel layer 2. Same customer would probably may have a wedding in their family. And many people at weddings, they either completely give all the in charge to the caterer, or some of them will say, boss, you're the caterer, but you're all good, but I want you to somehow buy the grocery over here, or I'll buy and give you the things, the essentials for the food, but you do the cooking. So there's a good business of 2-3 lakh that could be built. Again, 4-5 weddings in a family, then imagine the kind of business that can happen. I'm not saying somehow have that intention of getting that big business from the customer. Give that wow factor, wow feeling to the customer, because that business is anyways leaking, right? That business is going to somebody. Why are you missing out on that? Brilliant, right? Even you could be having a salon. Somebody just coming into your salon or parlor for maybe a hair straightening or haircut or whatever it is. And can you be able to do a complete annual or 3 months or 4 months maintenance package for the customer? How can you have that repeat visits from the same customer? And ideally, ultimate things is a wedding package. During that customer's wedding, or if somebody in their known circle is having a wedding and this customer could be referring them to you and you're having a bigger chunk of business. That's the revenue streams. How much money can you make by selling the same product or multiple products to the same customer as well? That also matters when it comes to valuing your business. I hope and believe these 10 things would have been useful to you, and let me know in the comment section which of this was very, very useful to you. Stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and you can expect every single week a wonderful, wonderful video that will help you to take your business to the next level. I want to wish you skyrocketing growth in your business. This is James Vineet signing off.